CD Bestie, aku Linying. Check out my interview with CreativeDisc, the #1 music website in Indonesia.
Hello, CD Bestie. Welcome back to CreativeDisc exclusive interview with me, Luthfi. And right now, we have a special guest today coming from LA, but have a Singapore blood in it. So she's have a very distinctive discography from electronic and alternative rock. And she already released a new EP called House Mouse. So without further ado, this is Linying.
Yay!
Yes. Hi. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to be here.
Okay, where are you right now?
I am in a studio in Venice right now.
Oh, wow.
It's called The Village. I'm in the middle of a recording session, working on the next album. So it's really exciting.
Oh, wow. Can you give like a little bit teaser about what's the next album is gonna be?
Well, I don't know yet. I don't know. We're still kind of in the middle of it. It's got all the songs are written. We're just sort of in the process of finishing all the production. I think it's gonna go a little bit. It's in some ways it's gonna be a little heavier and a little deeper. I think a little bit more raw. Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Okay. Okay, so let's focus on your recent release called House Mouse. So can you tell us more about your latest EP called House Mouse?
Well, House Mouse is essentially an EP about following your intuition. The name House Mouse is a nickname that my friends gave me because there was once they saw me standing by the doorway eating a piece of cheese and they got scared and they said, "Oh my gosh, you're like a house mouse." And I didn't think of it for a long time until recently, where I think, I don't know, I started feeling a lot more comfortable with myself as I was writing these songs and learning to let go, surrender control. And it made me realize that intuition is a big part of it, coming into yourself, feeling comfortable in your own skin. That's what a house mouse is.
Okay. And I think like this EP is very magical to me because I think like you can incorporate elements of 90s alternative rock with your own thoughts, with your own feeling. I think like how did you come with that sound? Because I think like it's heavy lean to the 90s alternative sound.
Alternative sound. Well, I worked with a really good group of people who a good group of friends who played in a bunch of bands. So their names are Jordan, John, Brandon, and they played in punk bands and like alt rock bands, and it was just a really natural convergence. And they're actually here right now. Let me show you. So, these
let me see.
are the guys who played
Hello there
with me. Yeah, they're really great. So it's like the experience is like playing in a band that I never got to have, because I've always like worked on my own in a room, and and it feels so nice to be able to do that. And I think they really brought their influence a lot into the music.
Okay. So this album, I think like you said before that it is more personal. It is like a more personal, like a feeling something on your skin, on your own skin. And I think like there's like theme like a heartbreak in there. I think like, is that true on your side? Because I think like you coping a lot of the heartbreak on this EP.
Whoa, I can't believe you managed to pick that out, because it's, I don't know, like in every interview I've kind of said, oh, this is the happiest I've been, and it's about freedom, it's about letting go. And
because I think it's like it's you are roaring into this, you are felt. I think like this is the most emotionally records that one of the most emotional record that I ever heard, because you put
really?
the emotion on the guitar, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think, wow, that's really insightful and interesting. And almost, you know what, I didn't realize it until quite recently. Like, I thought this was an EP about just having fun and, you know, just letting go, and it's not that deep. But recently I've been kind of, I don't know, thinking about it, and I think I realized that so much of why this EP feels so like aggressively energetic and happy is also because I think part of me, like, I went through some pretty hard stuff last year, and like I think I realized that like I'm only this I put so much pressure on myself to be happy because I know how how fleeting the happiness is. Or maybe like I just came out of something that was difficult and I felt like I need to treasure this right now and I need to capture this right now. And yeah, in that way I think it's emotional in an unexpected way, because these, like, on the surface they're kind of like happy upbeat drum songs. So yeah, I think you're pretty right. There is quite a lot of heartbreak in there.
Oh, wow. So I really like the song Creature, where you play a very fast guitar riff at the end of the song. Like, can you tell us specifically about that song?
Creature, yeah. I mean, Creature is a song about, it's like this really melodramatic song about like standing outside. I don't know, for some reason this whole EP is all about home and coming in, and it's not something I intentionally approached, but those were all the images that ended up, you know, forming the metaphors for the song. And Creature is about, it's about that feeling of never being let in, and it's like you're standing outside a door, you're like, let me in, let me in, let me in, and but then it never happens, and then all of a sudden you see someone else, you know, like standing out there, and within 5 minutes, and it seems so effortless for them, and it was so difficult for me, and it makes you, you know, it's just that feeling of like wondering what kind of alien, what kind of creature can possibly do that, you know, like what's so special about them, you know, what are they doing? Like, who are they? Yeah.
Okay. So speaking about the whole EP House Mouse itself, I think like it's pretty unique because you put so much alternative rock, I think. And why you make yourself to lean into more electronics, alternative rock sound? Because I think like you collaborate with so many EDM producer. What's make this biggest decision? Oh, I want to make something like a hard alternative rock track that throws back like in 90s.
I don't know. The way I see it, it wasn't a very conscious decision. But it just so happened that, you know, I just moved to LA, and I was meeting all sorts of different people who played all sorts of different genres. And these guys had that background. We clicked, we got along really well. And I tend to find, you know, when you're making music, the best thing is the only thing you can really do is just to enjoy it, right? You don't really necessarily go in thinking like, I mean, not always. I don't always go in thinking like, okay, this is what I want the sound to be. Like, sometimes if you go in with that kind of like rigidity, you end up limiting the kind of music that comes out as well. So so I went in just being open-minded, and, you know, going in with my experiences, and just being like, yeah, you know, let's play some music, see what comes out. And this is the sound that naturally came out of all of us. And yeah, I mean, I'm really glad it did, because it really reminds me of my childhood, like all these bands that I grew up listening to. So it's fun in that way, but, you know, it wasn't intentional, but I'm so glad that that's the sound that came out of it.
Okay. Speaking about the place that you live right now, Los Angeles, like, is it like any different living in the LA and the Singapore, and is it like affecting your music into that?
So much. I think it's very inspiring to be here, because you're constantly surrounded by artists. I think in Singapore, I mean, I love Singapore, right? It will always be home, but it's a little different, because you always feel like you're a bit of an outlier, or you're a bit different from everyone else.
Yes.
You know how Singapore is in arts in general. It tends to be like you're the minority when you do art, and, you know, people are very interested by that. But it's in LA, it's like the total opposite. When I meet someone who is an accountant, I'm like, oh my God, an accountant? Like, you're not a filmmaker or a musician? Like, that's crazy. You're not in entertainment, you know? So yeah, I think when you're surrounded by people who are like, they live and breathe this creativity every night and day, they wake up inspired, and like, you know, all the way, like all their hours in the day are dedicated to just like making good stuff. Like that's, yeah, I find that so energizing, and yeah, I don't know, right now it does feel like it's the place for me.
Is it like refreshing from you to living in LA right now from Singapore?
Yeah. It's like really a breath of fresh air. It's like the most normal thing to wake up in the world and like get a song out, you know. In Singapore, you often like I felt like I struggle a lot to put myself in that kind of headspace or to believe in making music.
Yes. But what's your biggest, what's your biggest decision from yourself to, okay, I want to try to the new territory to LA, because I think like LA from Singapore, it's very, very far away, right?
It's so far.
It's very so far away. You need like maybe like 16 hours to go there. Yeah, exactly. But what's your biggest decision that what's your reason d'etre lah? You move to the LA, to the unknown world.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think I've done trips before. My record label is based here, so I've worked with people and like, you know, done a few weeks at a time. And I feel like every time I've been here, my state of mind just completely shifts, and I make more in a few weeks than I would make in a year in Singapore. You know, I think it's just like the people you're around, the environment you're in, like that constant inspiration, and it helps me come up with really like exciting ideas, and it doesn't feel like as much of a struggle. So every time I realized that feeling in me when I visited, I saw how it affected my work, and then I realized that, you know, if I really want to do this, I gotta go all in, and yeah, I think that's the, like, for me to know that this opportunity is there and that I don't take it, I don't think I would be able to make the music that I'm making now if I don't seize what's in front of me, you know.
Okay. And one of the interesting things on your music, I think you collaborated with so many electronic EDM music, you know.
Yeah.
And last year we talked, you collaborate again with Chris Lim, right? Is it? Wait, the one song that I think like, oh, sorry. With Lost Frequencies, right?
Lost Frequencies,
yeah. With Lost Frequencies a lot. So, sure. So you often collaborate with electronic musicians, even though you have an alternative sound. Like, how can you work into like different genres of the music?
Oh man, I mean, what is genre, right? Sometimes I think I'm gonna be doing this for the rest of my life, and I'm gonna move through different genres all the time. You know, I don't know why we put so much pressure on musicians to stick to one genre. You make it their brand and they're forever known for that, because we change. Like, as people, we're constantly changing, we're constantly inspired by new sounds, we're always listening to different music, and we go through phases. And I find that because my music is very personal, the best way to do that is to just move along with, you know, what inspires you in the moment. And sometimes that's electronic music. Maybe after a few years it becomes alt rock. Maybe I'll make ambient music in another year or two. We'll see.
Okay, so we are entering like two last question, I think. Like, the first one is what makes you go seriously to the story of how you got into music seriously. How?
It's so funny. I just did an interview today and someone asked me the exact question, like, how do you decide to do it? And the truth is, I didn't decide.
Oh, really?
I was just in school.
But you're in LA right now. To making it big.
But it's when it first started, like when I first did all those EDM songs, I was just in school, I was studying, and I was doing this for fun because I liked it. And you know, Lost Frequencies, Felix, like he reached out to me over email and said, hey, do you want to write on a song? And we were all just a bunch of kids, you know, just we weren't like, oh, we want to make this a career, we want to do it. Like, there was none of that. It was just like, I have a song, I want to make a good song, you want to sing on it? And it's that sense of like play and that, you know, lack of planning and overthinking and strategizing that I'm really attracted to, that I think in art it ends up making the best product in the end when you don't stress too much about it. And yeah, so that's kind of how I fell into it. Yeah.
Okay. So the last question is, it's very, very hard for artists that answer this. So name 5 things we didn't know about you.
Ooh. I don't know. You seem to know some things about me.
No.
5 things you wouldn't know about me. I am a morning person.
Wow.
Which is something new and surprising to me too. That's one. Second thing is I am very ill-disciplined about the food that I eat. I just had a recording session. I was just drinking Coke, even though it's cold and it's supposed to be bad for your voice.
Yeah.
I will eat fries before a show if that's what I'm feeling.
But as long as it's delicious, why not?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta live, right? Like, why you punish yourself to go on stage? You know, like, like nobody wants to see an artist being unhappy on stage. You know, like, as long as you kind of do your job, okay. You know, yeah. So that's number 2. Number 3, I'm a cat person.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 4, I mean, I like dogs too, but you know, cats are something special. Number 4, I am very good at baking.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's something that I picked up over COVID because I was so bored and I needed a creative outlet, so I started baking. Yeah, number 5, I am like the biggest Indomie fan.
Oh,
yeah. Like, I'm so intense about my Indomie, and there's a specific way that I really like it. I need to have it with a lot of spring onions, like about 3 stalks of spring onions. The whole bowl is covered in spring onions. And I like the egg to be hard boiled. It cannot be a fried egg, like a hard boiled egg.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's 5 things you didn't know about me.
What kind of Indomie flavor that you like the most?
The original, always the original.
Yes,
like, every time I try something, I like it's all the others, they're fun, but you know, nothing beats the original.
Okay. This is the last the last one. This is the last one. What Singapore food that you really miss a lot when you go to the LA?
How can you make me name it? It's so hard. Hokkien Mee, probably. Hokkien Mee might be it. It's between Hokkien Mee and also fried chicken. There's Arnold's Fried Chicken is a Singaporean brand of fried chicken that I love.
What's the difference between LA fried chicken and Singaporean fried chicken that you mentioned?
You know, I don't know. I can't explain it. I just can't explain it. There's something different about it. Maybe like the chicken from home is more tender. It's also smaller. And the spices, it's just magic. The magic spices, man. I don't know. Maybe we put like black magic or something into our chicken. It's different.
Like, is it like LA chicken is too bland?
Yeah, it's like the outside has a lot of spice, but the inside, the chicken itself is not. You know, like the flavor doesn't go into the chicken. You know, like.
Oh really? It's just on the skin?
Yeah, it's just on the outside. So I think there's something in the process there that they don't know how to do it. Yeah.
Okay. So this is really last question. What's next for Linying?
Next is I am about to go back to my recording session. I'm working really hard on this album, and we're going to put out something that I hope people will enjoy. I know that I'll be really proud of it to have made it with some really talented friends, and that's what's next.
Okay. So we wrap up this interview for today. So Linying, thank you so much for this interview. Okay, thank you too. So listen to all of her works on streaming platform. Listen to House Mouse is a really good EP because it can throws me back to alternative rock of the 90s with some of new sound of Linying. And wait for her debut album, right?
My second album.
Second album. Okay, look out for a second album from Linying after the follow-up for House Mouse. Is it like gonna be good? I promise.
I'll leave it up to you to decide.
Yes. So don't forget to follow all social media of Linying on
anywhere you have social media. I probably have it. Instagram, TikTok, Linyng, wherever you want.
Okay, Linyng. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to CreativeDisc on YouTube, and don't check out always CreativeDisc.com in website, in Instagram, and in anything, and also on TikTok. So I'm Luthfi, and this is Linying. We are signing off. Thank you, and see you on the next interview. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.